Welcome to the show, everybody. We have some exciting announcements from last night's State of Play. We have some PS5 exclusives and another sneak peek at God of War. But before we get into that, let's jump into what might be the most interesting announcement, the most interesting game, Pacific Drive, for food.
Yeah, I have to agree. It kind of took me by surprise out of nowhere, this game, and I really liked the aesthetic or the style of the game. Like that was like the highlight, and it's all in a car, right? Like that was the only thing I took from it.
I mean, there are so the game. Let's just talk about the game a little bit. So it's a horror survival game, and it's described by the developers as a run-based first-person driving survival game. I mean, I don't know
Whatever
if there's
that
anything
means.
else like it. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else like it. But yes, you drive around your car, you search for resources, you build your car, you maintain it, you keep it powered up to continue exploring and evading danger. Then I think uncovering the mystery of what happened. I don't know if this is like happens in a town or a state or a country. I don't know what's the they mentioned zones like on the website, but I
Mm.
don't know how big these zones are. So you go from zone to zone, but like something has happened. There's like creatures or there's like monsters or something. They don't really show them to you in the trailer, but you're kind of like running away, trying to
Yeah,
stay safe
avoiding them
while
or
you're
something like that.
avoiding them.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. While trying to like just survive. So it's not all in a car because there is an abandoned garage that you kind of use as your home base. I saw that on the website. I think they also showed it in the trailer. But yeah, like you said, the aesthetic, the mood, it looks interesting. It actually kind of reminded me of the TV show Supernatural. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Love that
Nice. Yeah.
show. It's obviously different premise because in Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester, they are not running away from trouble. They're going to it. They're trying to save people. They're trying to get rid of the creatures, those that go bump in the night, so on and so forth. So yeah, this has a different like tone to it, but driving around at night, danger, being around you, kind of game.
It's cool. I like it. I like the premise. Like that's it's so unique. Like, and speaking of shows, like I kind of got like I don't know if it's like exactly, but like I kind of got the DeLorean from Back to the Future vibes of like how the car is, like it's like futuristic and like
Yeah, because he,
80s,
he
based in
has
the
to
80s
keep
or
like
something.
working on it, right? Like he can't just take it to a
Yeah.
mechanic. There doesn't seem to be any other. Okay, so I've seen this trailer last night. I haven't seen it since. My memory could be fuzzy, but I don't think we saw any other human in the trailer.
No,
Like he
it was
seems to
no.
be.
There was no
Was there?
humans at all.
No human.
No,
Oh, there were no
like it
humans.
was
Yeah, yeah,
just monsters, and you were like first person view the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah. You're
So
driving and
or
you're
like car
like
view.
evading. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not like it's not a driving game. But like, driving is an element of it, of course. It's part of
The
the
movement.
gameplay.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And it's also part of the story because that's his vessel. That's how he survives. It's his car. Yeah, this was the first time it was announced. This is a world reveal, world premiere. Check out the trailer. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna see some success,
Yeah.
which is something we can definitely say about the next game. And it's obviously the game of the show, even though it's been announced and revealed and we've seen footage and everything. God of War Ragnarok. We
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a new trailer for that.
Look, we've
Uh,
been asking for a gameplay trailer. I think everyone's like, "Where's the? When
yeah,
is it gonna be? When is it gonna happen?" And like, they finally give us a freaking new trailer that was. I'm a loss for words. Like after watching it, I think this game is gonna be epic on all
I mean,
scales,
did
on
you
all
have any
proportions.
doubt that it would be epic?
Of course not, but like based on the first one, but like just
Yeah,
seeing it
yeah.
like live in game,
Mm.
like, and I think the standout is we just spoke about this, is when Atreus like pulls his bow towards the moon, is like, and Kratos is like, oh, you can defy fate or something like that, and then he just
Yeah, yeah.
shoots at
Something
it, and
along
then
those lines.
like it's like a barrier releases.
The sky kind of splits open, and then
Yeah,
the moon that you see in the sky. sets down to the horizon, and when the sky splits open, it reveals the real night sky and the real moon. I'm sure there's like sorcery or magic or something involved in all of this. But it was weird. Like so I haven't played the first God of War, so there's a lot that I don't know about what's going on with these characters. But what as an outsider, what stood out a little bit was all this talk between Kratos and Atreus, like telling him that, oh, we're following you on a whim, and I still trust you, and I don't need you. Like Kratos telling Atreus, I don't need you to save me, right? So I don't know what the history is there, or like what happened in the last movie. Like you mentioned something before we started recording. I don't know if that's part of
I don't
this
think so.
dialogue.
No, that's all
Yeah.
new. That's all like
Oh, that's
different
all.
because
Okay.
he's
So,
Atreus is
so
older, I guess. Like yeah, so he
yeah,
can do
he's
more.
obviously older. Yeah, but like yeah, so it also there's some tension between the two of them, which I think is normal. Like every guy always at some point in their life, especially growing up, has had like issues with their father. Like it's I think it's a normal biological thing. We get to see
Mm.
this in the two of them now, like the tense moments that they have, the arguments, and all that sort of stuff. And Atreus is obviously keeping secrets from his dad,
Mm.
so there's like
That's
drama.
what it
There's going to be
seems like.
family
Yeah.
drama in this game, maybe in a different direction than what might have been in the previous games. There's also this giant. I think you said maybe he was a giant or some character.
Yeah, he looked like a giant. Yeah,
Yeah,
a new character. We've never seen him before, and like they help him release from his chains or his bonds.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then like they do the whole like bro handshake thing. So I think he becomes
yeah,
an ally. Um, but the best scene in the trailer is the very last like scene, like just a couple of shots of
God,
Kratos and Thor, because
yeah,
we've seen Thor before, like just a
it is
glimpse of
Thor.
him.
Yeah,
The big dad bod Thor, right? Yeah. So like launching their weapons, Kratos's axe and Thor's
and it
hammer.
clashes in midair. Yeah,
Yeah, they just stay stuck in midair, and then like they're running towards them, they pull them out, and then like they attack, and then it just cuts right there. The cinematic was amazing, even though it was like really really short, and all the other like gameplay footage obviously was also fantastic.
cinematic.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but it
cinematic
was
or
that
epic in
part.
their scale. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that part. To use a phrase that I used in the last episode, covering the Nintendo Direct, which we shot this morning, by the way, which is why I'm wearing the same T-shirt. That scene was the money shot of that trailer.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I just want to say something else. Like, I'm glad Mimir is still part of the crew. You know, the
Mm.
headless Mimir that like you recruited, I should say, in the first game. So he's with you again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't
yeah,
recruit anybody, but okay, sure.
but
What's the
like
name of the
again, like
the wolf? Fafnir, something, whatever.
you might be right. Yeah, Fafnir,
Yeah, because
Fafnir,
he
something like that.
he. I'm assuming it's he was there, and in that shot with the splitting the sky open, he howled when the real moon showed,
Yeah,
like was revealed. I thought that was a nice touch. Because why would a wolf howl at a fake moon? Well, that obviously was a fake moon.
yeah. We have to see the story. There's more, obviously, more to the story. That's the whole point of this game. But man, like especially like seeing Thor and Kratos like clash at the very end, you just want to be like you're just pumped. Like it got me pumped as well. Like I'm so ready for this game.
So yeah, that's the God of War Ragnarok trailer. There's also a controller, like a DualSense wireless,
Oh
like
yeah,
whatever.
I really was gonna gloss over
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
if
just I'm just mentioning it now, and we can just drop it here. I
yeah,
personally
let's
didn't,
go.
didn't like it so much, but I'm not whatever. Let's move on. What's the next game for food?
Syn Duality. So Syn
Tell me about it.
Duality is this. It's a game developed by Game Studio and produced by Bandai Namco, and it's a sci-fi third-person mech shooter adventure. It's as as cool as it sounds. It's a mech shooter adventure. That's all you need to know, and it's like when I saw the mech, it's the first time. I think it's a world reveal, isn't it? Like
I
this
believe
trailer.
I believe this is
Yeah,
the first that we see
first
of the
time we
game.
ever
Yeah,
hear or see about this game, and it was
yeah.
like when you see the mech, it gave me very like Ghost of the Shell, a Ghost in the Shell vibes of like
Mm,
this
mm.
kind of like mech that you're controlling and you're exploring the world. So you play as a drifter who collects rare resources called AO crystals as part of the efforts to reclaim lost ground for humanity in the remains of a ruined world. So
Hmm.
this world that they've created is based in the year 2022, and
No, no,
it's the
22,
year.
22.
Sorry, 2222.
Not,
Thanks, not
I know
22.
this year is terrible as it is, but
It's
it's
just as
not that
bad.
bad. No,
2222. So a bit
22,
further
22.
than now.
Yeah.
And it's a dystopian future where a poisonous rain called Tears of the New Moon, like tears is a
Tears of
very
the
common
Kingdom.
theme. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. You caught it.
Yeah.
Which wipes out or almost wipes out humanity. So humanity had to like build an underground base called Amasia to
Mm.
survive the rains. So that's the premise of the game, and then like you resurface to like gather resources and like I guess explore
I mean,
what happened.
it's a very basic post-apocalyptic sort of premise, right?
Yeah,
Something went
yeah.
down, you need to survive. You're forced to live underground, whatever. You know what this reminds me of? I just thought of this.
Tell me
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
what what? Can
It's
you
an
say that again but slower?
amazing Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. It's an amazing anime. I
Never
don't
heard of it.
remember the
Wow.
premise 100%, but it starts out like this community of these people that are obsessed with drilling because it's the way of life and whatnot. Um, they live underground, and they're told that if they go to the surface, I think there was like a toxic thing that happened. Everybody dies and whatnot, and then the story just kind of like expands into space. Basically, it's a really really good, fun action anime. But it's old. It's like I saw it when I was in uni, so it came out. I want to say 2006, 2007. So, but it's really really cool.
Send me
But
a link
anyways,
because that
I'll
name
send
I'm
you.
not going
Yeah,
to remember
yeah,
at all.
yeah. If you watch a scene in this anime, you'll always remember Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. There's a really badass scene where
Okay.
mechs fight each other using universes like galaxies as
Oh.
shurikens.
Oh,
Like
cool.
it becomes that wild. Like the whole galaxy is like a weapon that they throw, like a throwing star. Hopefully that won't happen in this game. I don't see it happening in this game. But you are accompanied by an AI.
Hmm.
Her name is Magus. Magus, is that the name? Do I have it
Yeah,
somewhere here?
pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
close.
yeah. And you can like customize your mech, their appearance, and the weapons. You do fight like wildlife and stuff. There's also going to be a PvPvE online mode where you will be challenged by creatures called Enders to clear the missions. So the only other thing, it's funny that I thought that it reminded me of Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann because when I first saw the trailer and then Japanese voice acting and the character designs and then like just the fact that it's a mecha, my mind just went to like, oh, this is an anime, and then I was thinking this is mech
You're not
anime.
wrong. Yeah.
Man, this is mech anime, the game. Like take any mech anime, turn it into a game, and it's gonna look and feel like that. Maybe it's gonna be in space, maybe it's gonna be in a futuristic city or whatever, but it's basically this. Especially
Yeah.
like also the music, like the actiony music, also sounds like in the
Actually, yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
It
That's how
sounds
it
like
made
it's
it
an
more
anime sort of
animated.
type of
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that appeal, I like that sort of like that sort of aesthetic and that appeal. So I gravitated towards the game because of just that aspect alone. But the premise is interesting enough as it is. So yeah,
Now it's coming to 2023, not only to PS5 but also Xbox Series X and S and PC. So you're not tied
that's
to
yeah.
just PS5.
Yeah, yeah. So this is not an exclusive. Oh, we did not mention what's the first game we talked about?
Pacific Drive.
Pacific Drive is coming to PS5 and PC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did not
Yeah,
mention that.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was just
yeah,
too cool, like as a premise. Like that's
yeah,
why.
yeah. Oh, okay. So the next one, we've kind of seen this before. Project Eve, now Stellar Blade.
Yeah, and this is a
Uh,
PS5 exclusive.
so this is the PS5 exclusive that we're going to talk about. There's another one that we're not going to talk about, but this is the one that we're both going to talk about. So it's set in a city that is built underneath a wasteland. It's a third-person action game. You fight against creatures called natives. The fight, like the fighting, the action scenes, like they looked really cool. Very fast-paced. Your
Very
weapons are
acrobatic as
yeah,
well.
very
Yeah.
acrobatic. Yeah, yeah. So you fight with swords and guns, and it looks like At least the guns, because we saw one scene where a gun kind of fuses to the protagonist is this woman, I don't know what her name is, but the gun kind of like fuses to her arm and it like expands and grows and like,
I
becomes
feel like
like
it's
a special sort of.
yeah, no, no, sorry, I'm with you. Like, I feel like it's a safe bet that her name might be Eve because it was called Project
Oh,
Eve before, so maybe that's her name. That's
well,
again
let me
speculation.
just then let me throw this at you. What's the name of the protagonist of The Legend of Zelda?
Link.
There you go. It's not Zelda.
Oh, yeah. I
There's
thought
a
you were throwing me
small chance.
trick question.
No, no. When you paused, I was worried for a second. I was like,
No, I
no,
was like,
Betty.
wait a second. I was making sure it wasn't a trick question. Yeah.
There's a small tiny chance this protagonist is not called Eve. Regardless. So her weapon fuses to her arm and it expands and like levels up and it like she's in space and whatnot. So
Yeah.
at least the guns, or at least some of the guns, you might like fuse to your arm and create like an ultimate or a special attack or something. There were acrobatic evasive maneuvers that I noticed, and one of them reminded me of this game on the GameCube called PN03, Product Number 3, which you haven't heard of until I told you about it before we started recording. But it should also remind you guys of Bayonetta. Did you get any Bayonetta vibes out of it?
100%. Yes, I did. Like, this was very. I feel like
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, Devil May Cry
Devil May
inspired, hundred
Cry,
percent.
Platinum Games, whatever, like, yeah, the whole
Yeah,
shebang. This really does seem like it's Sony's sort of like response.
to Bayonetta and like Near Automata. I don't know if you know that game as well. Like it has, it's like a fusion of the two, and like I feel like Sony took like both elements and like made it into their own game kind of thing. So
Yeah,
that's where
but
I'm coming from.
Near exists on the PS5 or PS4. I don't know if there's a
It's on
PS5
old
version.
it's on old systems
Oh
right
yeah,
now, but
but
yeah,
Bayonetta
yeah,
is not. Bayonetta is a console exclusive. This is a console exclusive. So I
yeah.
think that's where I'm coming from. That this is like Sony's Bayonetta, because there's a lot of similarities. But and looks like it's going to be a really fun game to play. So yeah.
I definitely want to hear more about it when it does, like when we hear, like when we see more announcements. It's all 2023. Like the only game that's not 2023 is God of War Ragnarok, which is surprising, which is still like unbelievable that it's coming out this year.
Well, hopefully, knock on wood, no delays, no nothing.
No, no, I think they're done. Like they're ready. They're ready.
Don't jinx it. What else do we have? One more announcement.
If you want, if you don't want,
Let's
we can like move on. But like
take us
they
take
did.
us through it really quickly. We mentioned this before. PlayStation Stars, like there's it's
Look,
not.
we mentioned it before. They brought it up in the middle of the presentation. Like I forgot her name. She's like talking about
Shen,
it.
something Shen, I think was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she comes on. She's like, "Yeah, we have PlayStation Stars. It's going to be coming out to some regions first, Asian regions, and then eventually roll out." Which you mentioned is a red flag, but we'll get back to that.
Oh, I don't
So
want to say like red flag, but I just thought it was like weird. I don't know why they needed to roll it out in regions. And for those who don't know, PlayStation Stars is a free to join loyalty program where by completing some tasks and activities, you gain digital collectibles,
yeah.
right?
So it's
So,
similar. It's similar in style to Nintendo's and Xbox that they have, but
mm,
like this is more tied to, instead of like collecting platinum points from Nintendo, you're collecting collectibles, like digital collectibles. And they showed off a few of them for the first time, like Ape Escape monkeys, and they showed off like a PS3 and something else, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
console
yeah.
itself.
So,
And
so
then
there
they
are other
mentioned,
like
yeah,
characters or objects or whatever from games and or
yeah.
consoles themselves, like part of Sony's history. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they mentioned like these digital collectibles will be linked to stuff that you may have purchased, like a PS3 or a PSP. Then you get
Mm,
this
mm.
collectible that you can show off, um, either on your PSN profile or on the PlayStation app as well. So
Yeah.
apparently, this was mentioned. Like I know I'm skipping ahead, but like it's relevant, that they mentioned on the blog post, not in the video, that
Yeah,
PlayStation
this was in the
Stars will
blog post.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, initially launch on the PlayStation app first,
Mm.
and then to consoles later, which has not been mentioned. So what she was saying is that it's going to be on the app first, then everyone else will get it. You'll have a virtual display case in the app, and then you can arrange them there. And there will also be a way to show them within your PSN profiles to your friends. So
Mm.
again,
Mm.
it feels like they are leading up to showing it off to everyone, either on your PSN profile or on the PlayStation app. But I don't know to who. I think maybe
Like,
more personal
yeah, I don't know
collection.
what. Yeah, I don't know how, like, where else that might be.
Yeah,
Um, I honestly have no feelings towards it. Like,
you
it's
don't
just,
care. You're indifferent
yeah, I don't
to it.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Again, we should stop talking before the recording, by the way, because we always end up talking about the same stuff we'll say in the. So you know what I'll
it's
say.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
At least I know where your headspace is at. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
let
yeah.
everyone
Yeah,
else know.
but I want to surprise you, like, live on camera. So on Xbox, I read this article about this guy who, through their activities that they have, the points that he collected, the vouchers that he was able to get at a certain store or whatnot, was able to get a good discount to go watch Foo Fighters, like, live in concert, just because he did his Xbox activities, nothing else. You were able to get some stuff from the Nintendo points system that they have, right? You're able to get some merchandise and whatnot. Again, you didn't do anything. You just, like, downloaded, played games, bought games, did all that sort of stuff. I don't know what other activities there might be. Like, do they have, like, an achievement system, Nintendo, like,
Not really. No,
log in once a week
unfortunately,
or whatever?
no,
It's
no
just, like,
achievements. It's
very
just
game based
missions. It's
missions.
missions.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would have loved if they had that PlayStation Stars and not just, oh, we'll have digital collectibles. To me, that's completely meaningless. To me, if digital collectibles means a lot to you guys, by all means, go crazy. This is an amazing announcement. But personally, in my humble opinion, I think this is just completely useless. It definitely did not deserve whatever time they took in this state of play to talk about it, because it's digital collectibles. So what? If there is something else with it, then yes, by all means, great. And it's Sony that we're talking
Yeah.
about. They could tie in so many things, right? Entertainment related stuff, appliances, or, like, devices,
Discounts, even
whatever,
discounts or something.
discounts,
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, discounts on games. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just disappointed.
We'll
That's it.
have to see until it rolls out. We
Until it rolls
won't
out,
know.
exactly. Things
Yeah.
might change, but I'm just saying, based on what we saw, that by itself, and they didn't have any sort of indication that there's more. Maybe more digital collectibles, but, like, not more expansive sort of rewards. That's yeah. Anywho, these are the titles that we want to talk about. I just want to quickly mention there were two PSVR 2 games that were also announced. Like, it's important to talk about those. One of
Yeah.
them is actually a remake port, whatever, of
It
an
was
older
from the
Star Wars
Oculus.
game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was on the Oculus Quest. They officially announced Tekken 8. The cinematic looked really good. Speaking of
That
good
was pretty
cinematic,
cool.
that
Yeah.
was a really good fight. The other PS5 exclusive is called Rise of the Ronin. It's kind of like a Japanese Assassin's Creed. Like, when he glided, like,
No,
when he did the
I
gliding
don't.
thing, I just thought he was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it could be.
I know it's very far fetched, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. The gameplay is
Yeah.
probably different. There's also a game called Like a Dragon Ishin that was just kind of like Fatal Frame from the Nintendo Direct. This is also a game that came out ages ago, and for the first time is making its way to the West.
To the west. Yeah.
Yeah, and finally, Hogwarts Legacy. We talked enough about it. They showed another trailer, also very horror-ish, a little bit, maybe not a lot, but, like, it also played on those horror tones a little bit. But that was it. That was state of play. That was. Oh, you want to
Just a quick
add something?
quick mention about the Hogwarts thing. It's an exclusive quest to the
Oh,
PlayStation.
I forgot
Yeah.
all about that. I wanted to
The
bitch about
that was
Sony.
everyone bitched about it, not just you.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're like, why does Sony have this exclusive Hogwarts quest and everyone else doesn't? We have to see how it might be a timed
Oh, no,
exclusive.
no,
We don't know
that's
how it
not
plays
what I
out.
want to bitch. That's not what I want to bitch about at Sony. Not just the fact that
What?
they have this exclusive thing. They are making a big deal about Microsoft buying Call of Duty and exclusivity and whatnot, all that sort of stuff,
Oh,
when they're
that's how
doing
you
it
want to link
themselves.
it? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's a huge link. Like, they had governments around the world, like, take a look into this merger or this acquisition, and they go out and do the same thing. Now, obviously, it's not at the same scale. But
Yeah, come
the
on. Like
principle,
talking about a DLC scale versus
yeah, but
a full game.
but it's their common practice. They do this all the time. They also limited, marketing, like campaigning efforts and whatnot for Call of Duty. Like it was only them that had the rights to do all that sort of stuff, even though the game was available everywhere. They're just being little bitches, is all I'm saying. And I could just end it right here.
The mic drop. Good night, everybody. Take
I do
care.
not want to drop
Outta
this
here.
mic, but imagine like a mic drop. Yes, yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching the episode. Do drop us a like or comment and subscribe for more content like this, or go to badgood.gg to find our audio podcast over there. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at badgoodpod, so give us a follow and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Take care, guys.